I woke up that morning laughing, not because something funny had happened yet, but because my phone alarm had failed me again. It was supposed to ring at 5:30 a.m. Instead, it rang at 7:12 a.m., and the first thing I saw was a message from my boss. "Ben, are you alive?" That was how the trouble began. I jumped out of bed, slipped on one shoe, and hopped across the room like a wounded chicken. I knocked over my chair, hit my toe on the wall, and landed face first on the floor. As I lay there, staring at the ceiling, I thought to myself, this is how legends fall. My name is Ben. I am not special. I am not rich. I am not wise. But I am very good at making mistakes. And this story is about how one very bad day turned into the most important lesson of my life. I lived in a small town where everyone knew everyone, and everyone knew everyone's business even better than their own. My room was small, my fan was loud, and my neighbor's rooster believed sleep was a crime. I rushed to the bathroom, brushed my teeth without toothpaste, and only realized it when my mouth tasted like regret. I wore my shirt backward, grabbed my bag, and ran outside. On my way, I met my friend Sam. Sam was the kind of person who woke up smiling, even if the world was on fire. "Good morning, Ben," he said cheerfully. "It is not good," I replied. "It is dangerous." Sam looked at his watch. "You're late again." "I am not late," I said. "Time is just moving too fast." Sam laughed. "That excuse will not save you one day." I did not know how right he was. I worked at a small office that sold phone accessories. Chargers, earphones, cases, things people lost every week and blamed on bad luck. My boss, Mr. Dan, believed in hard work, early mornings, and shouting. When I entered the office, everyone went quiet. Mr. Dan slowly turned his chair. "Ben," he said calmly. Too calmly. "Yes, sir," I replied, sweating like a melting candle. "Why are you late?" I opened my mouth and told the truth. My alarm betrayed me. The office exploded with laughter. Mr. Dan did not laugh. "Ben," he said, "if your alarm controls your life, then your life has no leader." That sentence hit me harder than the wall I hit that morning. But I nodded anyway. "I'm sorry, sir." "Sorry does not bring time back," he replied. "Sit down." I sat. And then the real problem started. At exactly 10 a.m., a woman walked into the office. She was calm, well-dressed, and smiling in a way that made people nervous. Her name was Grace. She asked for a phone charger. I gave her the wrong one. Her phone sparked. Smoke rose. Everyone screamed. Mr. Dan fainted. I stood there holding the charger like a criminal holding evidence. Grace looked at me and said gently, "Young man, mistakes happen. What matters is what you learn from them." I nodded, even though my heart was trying to escape through my mouth. When Mr. Dan woke up, he looked at the smoke, looked at the charger, and then looked at me. "Ben," he said slowly, "go home." My heart stopped. "Sir." "Go home. Take a break. Think about your life." That was how I got fired without being fired. I walked home feeling like a broken balloon. On the way, I stepped into mud, got splashed by a bus, and a child laughed at me. I reached my room and sat on the bed. For the first time in a long time, I cried. Not loud crying. Quiet crying. The type that makes your chest hurt. I thought about my life. Always late. Always careless. Always laughing things off. I remembered my mother's words from years ago. "Ben, if you joke with responsibility, responsibility will joke with your future." At that moment, my phone rang. It was Sam. "So," he said, "how bad is it?" "I may be unemployed," I replied. Sam was silent. Then he said, "Come out. Let's walk." We walked for a long time. Past shops, past homes, past people who looked busy and important. Sam stopped near a small library. "Do you know why I like this place?" he asked. "No," I replied. "Books never shout at me." Sam smiled. "Because knowledge waits. It does not run after you." We went inside. It was quiet. Peaceful. I picked up a book by accident. It fell open. The first line said, "Small habits shape big lives." I laughed. This book is attacking me. Sam took another book. "You joke too much," he said softly. "But you have potential." I looked at him. "Potential does not pay rent." "No," he replied. "But discipline does." That word again. Discipline. It followed me like a shadow. That night, I could not sleep. I thought about Grace. Her calm voice. Her kindness even when I messed up. I thought about Mr. Dan's words. I thought about my mother. I made a decision. A small decision. But powerful. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. And I placed my phone far from my bed. The next morning, the alarm rang. I did not wake up. It rang again. Still nothing. Then I remembered, the phone was far. I jumped up, tripped again, but this time I laughed. I brushed my teeth properly. I wore my shirt correctly. I arrived early. I stood outside the office before it opened. People stared at me like I was a ghost. Mr. Dan arrived and froze. "Ben." "Yes, sir." "Why are you here?" "I came to learn," I said. He studied my face. Then he opened the door. "Sit." That was all. Days passed. I stopped joking during work. I listened. I asked questions. I learned. I made fewer mistakes. When I made one, I corrected it. Grace came back one day. She smiled when she saw me. "You again," she said. "Yes," I replied. "But improved." She laughed. "That is good." Weeks turned into months. I became the most reliable worker. People trusted me. Mr. Dan trusted me. One evening, he called me into his office. "Ben," he said, "I was wrong about you." I swallowed. "You are not careless," he continued. "You were just undisciplined." I nodded. He smiled. Discipline can be learned. That day, I got promoted. I called my mother. She cried. Sam celebrated like he won a trophy. But the biggest lesson came later. One day, a new worker joined. His name was Tom. Tom was late. Tom joked. Tom made mistakes. Everyone complained. I watched him. I saw myself. Instead of laughing, I talked to him. I shared my story. Tom listened. Weeks later, Tom changed. And that was when I understood something deep. True growth is not just about improving yourself. It is about helping others improve too. Today, I still laugh. I still joke. But I respect time. I respect responsibility. I respect growth. And every morning, when my alarm rings, I smile. Because I know something now. One small habit can change a whole life. And sometimes, the funniest people carry the most important lessons. If only they are willing to learn. We've come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, comment and subscribe. You can also turn on the notification bell to be the first to see our next video. Bye.